Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen. I'm still not used to not doing introductions because you just saw who we were, and you'll see who we are again during the break. And we stopped mid-fight last time, so we're about to jump back into it, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention a couple things. As always, thank you, Idle Champions players, for voting, for tuning in tonight. If you're not an Idle Champions player yet, maybe give it a shot. You could be living this grand adventure with us, having all these characters in your formation. As always, we acknowledge that the stakes are high, with no small part to those votes. Again, please be respectful. Try to avoid backseating. There is many layers of things that are going on here, besides the fact that it's difficult to keep track of high-level play in real time. It is surprisingly difficult. There's emotional stakes, there's game stakes. They may have some insight into certain plot points that are going to happen. And quite frankly, I'm terrible and go out of my way to make it as hard as I possibly can. So, you know, just be cool. If you were on the other side of the camera, I assure you, it's harder than you think. As always, I have a different note here. I'm just going to read my note directly. Last week's vote and this week's vote will all come together next week with episode 5 season finale of Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen, so keep them coming. Although, to tell you the truth, this is why I'm so terrible in these things, y'all, because I'll be talking and everybody's like, we all agree we're doing this thing. And I'm like, 100%. It's like, everybody's like, this is what we're doing. I'm like, absolutely. And then I do not do that thing. So for the sake of maybe pacing next week a little smoother, some things are going to show up a little sooner than perhaps anticipated. But that's okay. Other things will all come out next week in the big finale. As always, the stream code for this week is ICP3 episode 4 code, with the verbal component of that being IP3 episode 4 code. So there you go. You can get your 2 gold chests that expires next week, March 21st at 4 p.m. Pacific. Also, I want you to know we do a lot of this stuff in a Google Doc. This is me. I do this all the time because production is supposed to be invisible. No, I'm gonna tell you how this really is. Literally, someone is highlighting things as I'm supposed to say them. Like the document is changing in real time. I'm like, oh yeah, okay. As always, the giveaways for tonight is we have our Idle Champions Dice Vault with your Iris D6, which is of course very lucky, darling. Every time you roll the 6, you see Iris's beautiful face, which is for the US and Canada only, excluding Quebec. You know why, Quebec. You know why. We also have the Shadowfell Tatiana theme pack, the Shadowfell Desmond theme pack, the Shadowfell Brimstone Angels theme pack, which is available at the end of this episode. I knew, I was like, there's another thing I need to mention, and it legit just got highlighted, right? It's like the plane, the people outside with the sticks with the plane. That's what it's like.
Yeah, this is like Anchorman. Just like, you'll just say whatever is highlighted. I love it.
It's not that, honestly. We also have Orcus, the Lord of Undeath. I don't even know that you can call this a mini. It's a maxi. It's like, he's very shiny. Hang on, let me try and rotate so you can see this big old boy. But he's incredible. The Icons of the Realm Orcus. That is being given away also today, US and Canada only. Sorry, Quebec, you will have to make your own pact with the Demon Lord to get him to come to visit. But for everybody else, there's a chance at it. You can win this chunky boy for yourself. Hey, that's weird. He's still got his wand. Yeah, I digress. As always, thank you to our moderators, Jay and Trievor, that are in chat there helping us out today. And we will let you know who won those giveaways at the end of the episode. With that all in mind, I'm looking real quick to see if my list changes while I'm looking at it. I don't think it will. I think I said it all. Let us get back to it. So, having made the acquaintance of a blue-skinned barbarian with a knack for the forest, I think, Tatiana, that you all found was a friend of Desmond's. They'd both gone out hunting in Barovia, got separated, somehow ended up here. After assisting Delatoth, which is one of the Raven Queen's top lieutenants, in a battle against the Sorrowsworn, she agreed to take you all to the Fortress of Memories for an audience with the Queen herself. Once you arrived, you saw there was a group of mind-controlled Shadowkai outside that had apparently turned on their own kind, that you all were able to liberate. Once you entered the Fortress of Memories, it seems to be undergoing some kind of attack, like the fortress itself is dissolving and reforming and dissolving and reforming, and many of its memory-based defense mechanisms were malfunctioning, causing all of you to see twisted recollections from your past, painful memories that may or may not have played out exactly as was revealed to you, but still was very difficult to experience. Desmond and Tatiana were visited by their lost friend Voronika, who at least claimed that it was the real her and not a memory after all. After making your way through the fortress, you all came upon a ritual being performed by a nagpa, a horrible vulture-like creature that had apparently incapacitated a group of Shadarkai and was using them in an unclear way to help facilitate this ritual that you all stumbled across that seemed to be aimed at anchoring external power into this place, to bring in power from somewhere else here into the Fortress of Memories. In the midst of this pitch battle, many of you have been paralyzed or incapacitated in various ways. Shaka was turned at one point along with the vampire spawn and fled up towards the ceiling of this place, but has since regained his wits. And we rejoin the action with Orkira standing in front of Desmond, who is currently paralyzed. And Orkira, it is your turn.
So there is a little bit of panic because the thing I was going to do, I can't do because I promised I wouldn't do it. So she's going to cup her hands together and say to Desmond, I can't fix that, but I think I can help us all fight back. And when she opens her hands, there's a bunch of glowing beetles, tiny, tiny little, almost like fireflies that start to buzz up and land on everybody's head as I am casting Bless. Doing it at a high enough level to get us all. So this gives everybody a D4 on any attack roll and saving throw. Every single one.
Wow. The Nagpa looks in, says to you, heroes, pets of the Raven Queen, you won't stop the plans of the undead master now. You won't stop the destruction that the Dark Prince will unleash. You will not stop the Nagpa's revenge.
I mean, I don't know about us being heroes. We're definitely here to stop you. The rest of that, yeah, I don't really care about.
Anything else for Orkira?
No, I used my bonus action and my movement last episode, so that's all I got. So everybody's blessed.
Perfect. Baloth the Entertainer. Again, recall to set the scene. You all are in this room. There is an elaborate series of runes drawn on the floor. The Nagpa was knocked out of the circle, I believe, by Shaka. With an Eldritch Blast, but is actively making its way back towards the circle. Along the edges, there are 6 Shadarkai that appear to be in some sort of suspended animation, one of them very clearly wearing elaborate ritual robes, and 3 vampire spawn that are still on the ceiling, getting as far away from Orkira as they possibly can. And Baloth, it is your turn.
Very well. So as the firefly lands on Baloth and the bless takes effect, he says, God bless us, everyone. I'm not sure which god, but it does seem to be everyone. And
Mine, the Phoenix, mine.
Phoenix, yes, God, Phoenix bless us, everyone. Question, do my doubled spells carry over from last game?
You know, they will continue through this encounter. However, that also means your 50% chance to do nothing will carry over through this conflict as well. So, let's get that out of the way. I assume Baloth is still putting his money on odd, correct?
Yeah, put it on odd. Put it on odd.
All right.
No, odd.
Oh, even. You are free to do as you will, Baloth Baradil.
All right, so Baloth then turns to the Nagpa and says, "Hero, I am offended, madam. I am nothing if not a villain. You think the heroes walk around with a wand of Orcus? I doubt it. Disintegrate, doubled." That's what I tried to do last time.
I was about to say
so rudely interrupted.
I was about to say our wild counterspell shootout was this round, I believe, correct? The counterspell and the counterspelling of the counterspell. So perfect. That's all happened. The reactions are exhausted. Go ahead and roll it, Baloth.
Actually, Nagpa will roll it. Rolling against Baloth's rather difficulty of 22. Twice.
She is going to make one of those with a natural 20.
Very well.
Second one, is it Dex? It's Dex for disintegrate, correct?
Hold on, let me check.
Gotta get out of the way, the laser blast.
Dex 22.
She makes one of the saves be surprisingly spry for a hunched vulture person. Unfortunately, the second one is going to be a direct hit. So you can go ahead and roll your damage, Baloth.
Thank you very much.
That's what we call fortunate.
And you know, I brought a lot of Iris D6s on the cruise ship I'm currently streaming from, but I didn't bring enough because he's got a lot of these. So let's see,
digital dice are your friend when once the disintegrates kick in.
Okay,
you know,
83, and this is going to be empowered, so I'll re-roll some of these lower ones. Sorry, I'm just doing math in my head.
No problem.
Do all the math. It's beautiful math. It's great.
Your image is actually frozen on your thinking face, so this is pretty. It's very appropriate. It's very. Oh, did we lose him? So here's the thing, y'all. He is actually on a cruise ship right now, so this is most delightfully baller thing ever. Playing D&D on a cruise ship while playing D&D on a cruise ship. So
I mean, the Shadowfell is a strange place.
It is. So Mark's signal may be in and out. So let's go past him here. Oh, I know it's gonna jank us all. That's okay. Apologies for this while our production overlords are rearranging things. I'm intimately familiar with this unique pain, so let's go on until Baloth gets back. It is the vampire's turn. I believe, again, Orkira, unless they are interfered with, they will stay turned for the full minute, correct?
Yep. They're gone from me. They gotta get as far away. They can't do anything else.
Excellent. Desmond, you are paralyzed. You are freed at the end of your turn, but unfortunately it will take your entire turn. But the paralytic grasp does drop. Also, I want y'all to know, since we're just telling you all the tea here, because we're all friends, that chat here thing, that's because I run on 2 machines, and I'm like, this is the one to talk to. All right, while Mark Meer is reappearing, we'll get him back in here momentarily. Once we get you situated again, Baloth, just give me that damage when you have it, sir. Oh, I don't know if he can hear me. Baloth, can you hear me? Also, here's the other thing. We went through like an hour of pre-show. Everything was fine until the first time he had to do a thing. So again, intimately familiar with this field. Desmond, again, apologies. The paralysis is released, but it will take up your entire turn being paralyzed, which brings us to Farida.
Okay. So we don't know. Well, maybe you do know. Is the Nagpa still up after that?
I mean, unfortunately, I put the odds at 50-50 because I know how hard Baloth hits, but she has a not insignificant number of hit points. So right now it's Schrodinger's Nagpa. We're going to assume.
And just to clarify, so there's the Nagpa, there's the ritual circle. Is the ritual circle still like holding? Or...
Yes, not only is it holding Farida, it's getting stronger.
Okay. And that would... Do I have any sense of how to, like, disrupt that?
You do. I'm not even going to make you roll for this because Farida is a thinking tiefling. Destroying the runes, or at least disrupting the runes, could stop the ritual, because whatever she's doing is working. Like, you can tell the runes are glowing brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. Also, I got enough from Baloth to know that Baloth did 90 points of force damage, which, while significant, is actually not enough to drop the nagpa. So it is still up. It is beaten with holes punched in it. And yes, Farida, you believe that you can, it might be possible to disrupt the ritual were you to attack the circle itself.
Could I just go ahead and cast Shatter on the circle?
You absolutely.
Is that the kind of disrupting the runes we're talking about?
He's back.
So we went through this once before recently, where I had to posit this exact thing, because Shatter has the cons. Oh, but Shatter can be used on objects. That's the point, correct?
Yeah.
Then yes, you can, because it's got an AC, but it doesn't have saves. But yes, I will say you can Shatter. So give me your damage.
Okay.
What kind of damage does? Well, hang on one second. What kind of damage is Shatter?
It's okay, so it does.
Is it force?
It's thunder damage. A creature made of organic material, such as stone crystal, a non-magical object, also takes the damage, and it has. Oh, it's a saving throw, and it has disadvantage. Okay.
Farida, give me Arcana or Religion, whichever is higher.
It was almost an 18, and then it bounced. So yeah, 10. This is a great idea.
Farida, you, even with a 10, given your personal background, and quite frankly, the source of your own power, you think it might be susceptible to radiant damage. It's not necessarily clear how much damage thunder is really going to do.
Okay. Well, if I can rethink that, then I will cast Sickening. There's nobody in this circle right now, right?
Well, the Nagpa and the 6 Shadarkai, but they seem like encased somehow. They're not just standing there, so.
Then I will cast Sickening Radiance on the circle.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll your damage. As we established in episode 1, Sickening Radiance is radiant and not.
It is 15. And it's glowing now. A different color.
You notice the runes start to darken and drop a little bit, as if they are like going back and forth competing with this power. And you see the Nagpa looks around, very clearly concerned. No. But it seems like it is helping, Farida.
All right. I will keep holding it up.
Excellent. Anything else from Farida?
No, I think that's it.
You, Farida, give me insight. Or you can give me insight or Arcana or Religion, which even Perception, any of the, whichever is going to be higher. Also, just get it all out of your system now.
Yeah, 13.
Farida, you definitely see the circle like pulsing and getting brighter and dimming and brighter and dimming. Like it's whatever the Nagpa's doing and what you're doing are in direct opposition right now. Yes. Yes.
Sorry, it's fine. That's good.
No, please, no. We got all the time in the world. Yes.
I guess I can cast Blade of Disaster as a bonus action too and try and hit the Nagpa if the Nagpa is still casting.
That a spell? Because if you cast a leveled spell,
you're right.
You can't do a leveled
sorry.
bonus.
That's a very good point. Never mind. I'm not doing anything. I'm good.
A lot has happened. Perfect. Baloth, can you hear me? Baloth, can you hear me?
Oh no! Oh
yeah. It's sticky. That's okay. But currently, I got you. Okay.
Oh, am I frozen?
Nope. You're good. Tatiana, give me a charisma save.
And make sure to add the D4.
Okay. Yes.
Hashtag blessed.
Oh! Hashtag blessed. 23.
Yes.
Tatiana, you feel a familiar sensation set upon your mind as something begins to take over, but you were able to steel your will and shake it off.
Not this time. Ah!
Fine, then let's just try violence. Farida, give me a dex save.
Take blessed.
Can I add the plus to that?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every single attack roll and saving throw as long as I'm concentrating.
Okay, that's 21.
That is enough as a beam of disintegration, just like what you just saw Baldur did, arcs in your direction. However, hold on. Yep. You are able to get out of the way as it just arcs by and punches a hole in the back. I will tell you,
Lunge.
it has a not insignificant save DC, so very good there, because that was going to be a chunky disintegrate.
Collapse to the ground and be like, "Thank you, Markera!"
The nagpa begins to spit and curse in a terrible language that none of you understand, but the implication is clear. Tatiana, it is your turn.
All right, bird thing. It's time for you to feel Tatiana's wrath. Now, and she like cracks everything that had been paralyzed just a moment before. And you see green veins of power shoot from her fingers and into the ground in the middle of the circle as she casts Erupting Earth.
Ooh.
That's going to be a dex save for anyone in the area to not take damage. The ground will become difficult terrain as the earth and stone is churned up.
What's the save DC?
14.
You do see the Nagpa seems to be like riding on the waves of the earth, like it's not inhibiting her that much. However, you do see the runes and symbols begin to crack and break. Curse you! Curse you!
Does she take halved damage on a success?
You tell me actually.
Or is bludgeoning?
If it says it's half,
Oh,
it's half.
it does.
Okay, then yep.
I don't know what fancy things this bird person has.
I mean, a lot, honestly. Yes, but that will be half damage. Mm-hmm.
Okay. 3 plus 6 plus 7, 10, 16, only 8.
Perfect.
Hey, but plus marks 90, that's a lot of damage.
First of all, the only hit point that matters is the last one. But second of all, you did a very good job disrupting the ritual because it was about to turn poor. So, still helps. Anything else from Tatiana?
I would like to... What was like our relative location? Where am I? And is there someone I could move in front of that is less full of rippling muscles?
Well, you just saw she actively attempted to disintegrate Farida and missed.
Okay, I'm gonna move in front of Farida.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Anything else from Tatiana?
That's it.
All right, Shaka.
Sorry.
Yes.
May I?
No. Yeah, come on.
This is the hard part about being a druid barbarian, because I could rage, but then I can't do the spells. But I'm gonna rage.
And go ahead and turn it on.
It felt so good to make things blow up. Yeah, she's gonna rage.
When you start raging, Tatiana, you all hear a voice say, "Okay, wait, I got it," and a little pink holophant appears. And she's like, okay, all right. The backwards talking thing, that was on me. But look how strong Farida, look, she's got a bare chest. And you got wings and can fly? Okay, wait. What if all of you were flying bears? Bubble claps her hands, and all of you turn into owl bears.
Well,
She's right? It's good, right? Yeah, right. That okay. So bird on bird violence. I'm just okay, bye. And she disappears in a shower of bubbles. How this is going to work is you will retain your class abilities. You have simply gained the attributes of an owlbear, as you have all turned into large grizzly bears with faces like owls covered in feathers.
This is new, but it feels right.
This is new, but this feels wrong. What is all of this all over me?
What manner of sorcery is this? However, Shaka, it is your turn, newly owlbeared. What was that, Bela?
But not my sorcery.
But Shaka, it's your turn.
All right, from a flying owlbear, I want to. So you said that the other, like Shadowkai, are like in a circle. Are they still standing up after the erupting earth around the runes?
You know, Shaka, give me perception.
Okay.
Actually, you can give it with advantage because owlbears have keen sight and smell.
Okay, I'll roll again. I'll take the first one. 18. 18.
You notice the one in the robes, it's like her eyes are moving around. Like she's starting to come out of it, but she hasn't come out of it yet. The other ones are still just sort of floating there incapacitated.
Okay. All right, so I think I get the sense that they're... Okay, I'm just going to do what I originally wanted to do. Since I'm now a big, burly, large object, I essentially want to launch myself into them a la knocking down bowling pins. So I just want to launch myself into this group and knock them over.
Perfect. Give me either athletics or acrobatics. Just tell me what you get, and I'll worry about the... Owlbears are pretty strong, so I'll add the bonus on my side.
So it's an 18 on acrobatics.
More than enough. You barrel forward, and they start to fall. And as you do, you hear a large crack, and the one in the robes goes, and you see Delatoth, who is still here with you, rushes forward to the side of that one and says, Nira, wake up, Nira, speak to me, Nira, and is trying to get the robed one up, and she's kind of coughing and sputtering. Anything else from Shaka?
No, I don't think so. No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I think I will. Well, I'll try to move closer to Nagpa. So
Okay.
I like to end my turn like within basically melee range of.
So the
Perfect.
the
Get in their face.
sickening
Perfect.
radiance is still up.
Mhm.
If Shaka's moving into that, I would drop it because I don't want you to take that radiant damage.
I will say Shaka's perceptive enough to button hook around the radiance
That's so fair.
Okay.
the
I mean, I bob and weave it. Like I bob and
Mhm.
weave it. You know.
Okay.
It's all
well
right.
The
that and
Nagpa's not in the circle now then.
the Nagpa still is. The Shadowkai were kind of on the edges, and he's like, I kind of want to hit him and sort of topple them on the edges. So the Nagpa is still in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Think of the Shadowkai like they were kind of pillars around the sides, and
Yeah.
he's knocked down the
Yeah.
pillars. The
I meant
Nagpa's
more
in
if
the
he's
middle.
moving into
Okay,
melee with the Nagpa,
yeah.
there's a circle
Oh.
of radiant damage
Got
around
it.
it.
I will not move into it. I will stay
Right.
on the outside.
You get
If
as
you
close
give
as
me
you
the
can
look, I'll drop it.
without what even does the look like from an owlbear?
Shaka knows.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
it's an owlbear thing. You wouldn't understand.
We all know. We all know.
Anything else from Shaka?
No, I'm good.
Perfect. Owlbear or Kira? Feathers, it's a weird sensation. It's a weird sensation.
How do you all deal with hair and feathers? Ah! I've got stuff in it already. As she deals with that, my spiritual weapon, which now also looks like an owlbear, because why not, is going to fly down and go after the nagpa. So that's going to be my first thing. Wow, that's a natural 1. So, yeah.
Pitiful. Ah!
You know what's pitiful is like this hair. How do I have hair here? What is that all about? And then really, really angry, Orkira's gonna pull herself together and I'm gonna cast a guiding bolt at 8th level.
Perfect.
And yeah, this is gonna come out of her mouth. She's gonna just open up her beak and be like, ah, like she's breathing, except it's a guiding bolt.
To clarify, Farida, does Sickening Radiance have any other debuffs besides the Radiance?
Yes. So,
Yes.
sorry, let me pull it up because it's kind of complicated.
Because I believe it actually does give the Sicken condition, which was
so on the Nagpa's turn, it makes a Constitution saving throw, and if it fails, it takes 4d10 radiant damage. It suffers 1 level of exhaustion, and it starts glowing, and it can't turn invisible.
Well, since you put this on before the Nagpa's turn, I did not roll that save at the time. I have rolled and failed that save, so give me that 4d10, and it is glowing. Okay. Does the glowing give advantage on attacks or anything of the nature?
It doesn't say that, but it's not allowed to turn invisible. That's
Got it.
23 damage.
Perfect.
And it's radiant damage.
Perfect. All right, Orkira, yes, guiding bolt away.
Real quick, as an owlbear, do I still have my wings?
Yeah.
Are they feathered now? Like fully feathered wings?
They're somehow feathered and furred, which is weird. Don't know how that works. Yeah.
So she's gonna take a flap and try to get about 5 feet off the ground as she launches this guiding bolt out of her mouth like a laser, and making up for the fact that my spiritual weapon rolled a 1, my guiding bolt rolled a natural 20.
Hey! Give me the damage.
So I did that at 8th level. So that is
You did.
88 radiant damage.
Woo!
It looks like as Orkira obliterates this Nagpa, as it's like, pathetic.
The spiritual weapon, the spiritual owlbear fails, and the laughing starts, and the last thing that Orkira wants is to be completely useless this round in front, and this creature is making fun of her, and everything feels weird. Everything feels awful, and she just channels all of that awkwardness into this beam that just cuts directly through this creature.
Straight through, all the way down to the ground. Just a hole opens up in its chest, and it looks down for a second, and it just says, "That's not funny. That's not," and falls over dead.
Wait, are we still owlbears?
Bubbles reappears, and she's like, "Oh, it worked! It worked! It worked! High five! High five! Give it to me! Give it a high five! Come on!"
High five.
I'm gonna high five, but it's very hard, so it'll probably knock Bubbles back.
You know, that's a okay. All right, you guys, I don't know what's up with Baloth. Like, I noticed the face thing. He seems a little in and out. Maybe keep an eye on him. All right, here you go. All right, good times. Good times. Glad we're even. We're all good.
Well, aren't you gonna fix this?
What? You're like, this is better. Isn't this a bit? No.
These are not scales.
Oh, it's not better. I don't understand you guys at all. And she disappears in a cloud of bubbles, and you are all restored to your normal human forms or normal sentient forms. However,
Bubbles, I thought it was better.
Bubbles, intentionally or unintentionally, has given you one more boon where you feel completely rested and restored when you turn back. You have gained the benefits of a long rest.
Ooh,
again,
Bubbles.
Apologies everyone watching with our tech issues. I assure you it is far more frustrating to everyone on this side than it is for you. Thank you so much for your patience. Baloth, I don't know if you were able to hear that when you were restored, you gained the benefits of a long rest.
And not to be that nitpicky, we just gained the benefits, but 8 hours has not passed, right?
Correct.
Okay, good.
Correct.
Everybody's still death warded. Yay! Okay, that was the best.
You see, Delatoth is on her knees, and she's like, Nira, wake up! And this beautiful Shadarkai sort of like sits up slightly and turns and looks at you all, and she says, thank you. I don't know what would have happened if you all hadn't arrived in time. This vile sorcery inevitably would have been successful. And she starts to slowly get to her feet, and you see the other Shadarkai sort of like snap awake.
What was the ritual doing?
You see she sort of stands there kind of on wobbly legs, and she's like, just a couple of days ago, I and my acolytes were in Gloomrot, and we sensed terrible dark magic invading the Shadowfell, eating away at our planar boundaries. And we came here to the Fortress of Memories to consult with the Raven Queen, and she was aware that we were under some sort of magical assault. She called everyone back, all the Shadarkai, to come back to defend the fortress. And then once we had all arrived, she began dispatching teams out to figure out the source of the magic. I knew that something was happening right here within the palace itself. Unfortunately, the nagpa was prepared and was able to trap all of us and freeze us in place. But I did hear her cackling about vengeance to be served upon the Raven Queen and a blighted realm fought over by its 2 new masters laid to waste and ruin. Does that mean anything to you all?
Is there something we can think about? Because she was also talking about dark masters and undead people. Can we put those 2 things together and try to figure out who she's talking about?
Maybe, is it Vecna?
Well,
I
he
think.
does dwell here in
Likely.
the Shadowfell, but surely he would not try his hand against the might of the Raven Queen. All of you can give me Arcana or Religion, and Farida, you can give it to me with advantage.
Net 1.
You've successfully rolled the disbelieve, Tatiana.
I rolled a 3 for a 2.
Still waiting to wake up from all this. Yes, Farida?
I was
26.
there.
26.
21.
Desmond?
Trying to find my die.
Okay,
And then
it'll be the lower left corner. You can
it's there. It's just the I'm used to a higher resolution on my laptop.
I don't know if
And it's
Bailoff
not
can hear
showing.
me to give me Arcana or Religion, if you can hear me, Bailoff.
Those
Hey?
pixels.
Yeah,
He can,
shit.
but he's muted.
it's true.
They're hidden behind all the pixels.
Mm-hmm.
Reload, see if that helps.
You all have all rolled pretty high, but I'm just seeing in totality what we got.
I just rolled again for fun. Still in that 1.
Oh, that is a 20. I presumably that's a dirty 20, Bailoff.
What?
Tatiana, Orkira's next to you going, how do you even deal with all that hair everywhere? Like, it just moves all the time.
Dirty 20.
Tatiana, are you going to respond?
I don't know. Hair is like grass that grows on the body.
And it's disgusting. I don't know how you deal with it.
Do you call grass disgusting?
When it's on my body, yes.
It's nature.
It's
and
nature.
nature's wonderful, but you know what
Chaka,
is
you
also
understand
nature?
me.
Scales.
Yeah.
Scales are also nature.
Well, I mean, one piece of nature isn't better than another piece of nature, though.
The one that I'm used to is.
Ah, fear of change. I understand. It's sad, but I understand.
It's very sad.
Shaka, Bailoff, and Farida, you all are kind of able to put your heads together and figure out a couple things. The purpose of this ritual was to act as a localized accelerant for the overall magic corrupting the Shadowfell's planar boundaries. The decay of the Fortress of Memory's physical essence is now accelerating because even though you all stopped the ritual, the nagpa had already been at it for some time. The signature of the corrupting magic is still strong within the ritual and makes it clear that the magic originates from inside the Shadowfell, not outside. The ritual magic is ancient, carrying a distinct tenor of secrecy, but it is also tainted by the toxic power of undeath. This specific combination suggests that the nagpa was channeling magic granted to it by an ancient undead creature wielding unprecedented eldritch powers, which, Shaka, that certainly feels like Vecna.
I knew it. Look, last time we saw Vecna was talking some trash about the Raven Queen. You know, and talking trash is an official like favorite, thing. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, all the time. I was just trying to think who would be powerful enough to even dare, to do this, and I really think, I think that worries me though, because Vecna has been watching us, right? And I mean, both of them have been watching us, so I think it won't be about us finding them. It'll be about them choosing to intervene. Maybe we're pawns on their little battle, like on their little.
Maybe they'll keep each other busy while we find Havilar and your missing memories.
I think we need to find the Raven Queen to do that. And also, Tatiana, Desmond, we don't know why you're here. We came here intentionally. Were you pulled in to help fight this?
Generally, I've come to see the world as a place where I am presented with things to fight. And I will fight for those I find honorable around me. So yes, I think that is why I'm here.
I've no choice but to agree. When I woke up, you were the first group that I saw.
Also feasting. Feasting is also a reason I exist.
Feasting is nice. And also marshmallows. I think it was awesome.
Food is good. Food is real good. Do you want another?
Of course. And then he immediately pops the whole marshmallow in his face. And then just like kind of tosses a brisket piece back, because obviously he's got a satchel full of pocket brisket.
Metagame question. Lauren, is this the same marshmallow that you've had for a long time, or is there a fresh bag? What's happening with the marshmallows?
These are fresh marshmallows.
That's a good point. It could be one massive marshmallow.
We don't know if it's squishy.
Fresh mellows, yeah.
It could be a prop.
It's like one of those weird colored Easter marshmallows that are like chalk. That are like booby traps that you're like, yeah.
No, these are new marshmallows out of the bag because the thing is that I eat them afterwards like a treat. Like, hey, I did a good job. I deserve a marshmallow.
You do deserve marshmallows.
True. You have definitely earned a marshmallow. Yes.
Well, so does everyone here, including Mark. I feel bad for him. Anyway.
No, Mark does not deserve a marshmallow today.
He's getting cruise mellows.
I most certainly do deserve a marshmallow. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
There we go.
That's awesome.
That's how you get him.
I can't give you a marshmallow if you're incorporeal. Come on.
I'm not incorporeal. Hopefully someone's going to throw up a great still image of me.
Already happened.
So we can make this work.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Glad to hear it.
Delatoth does just she helps Nira to her feet and she says, okay, the Raven Queen should still be in her throne room if what Nira, well, of course, I have no reason to doubt what Nira tells me. That would have been what we do. She would have fallen back. The Onyx Guard would have been there to protect her. So it should just be a little further this way. Come. And she stops for a second and turns and like looks up at the ceiling where the vampire spawn are, and she says, I'll dispatch Shadowkai to destroy them. And she just hurries to the far side of the room.
She is resourceful.
As Delatoth and Nira sort of storm through these doors, you see Shadarkai turn and like point weapons at them and see that it's them and immediately just like step back at attention. Like it's like a wave of dominoes that just moves out of the way as the two of them are walking. And you all are allowed past as you get deeper and deeper into the Fortress of Memories, until finally they open a huge set of double doors to reveal a breathtaking sight. The huge hall beyond the doors is seemingly an open space at the heart of the fortress. No ceiling visible above where its smooth stone walls open up to the shadowed sky. Ivory and onyx braziers scribed with skulls burn brightly, filling the lower reaches of the chamber with blue-white light. The floor is crowded with stoic Shadarkai, armed and lined up before the pale thrones that rise atop a flight of steps on the far side of the room. A force of black helmeted Shadarkai stand closest to the throne, which is sculpted of gleaming bones and occupied by a dark-haired figure draped in feathery shadow. Word of your presence in the Fortress of Memories has reached me. The Raven Queen's voice kind of comes from everywhere all at once. I would know your purpose in coming here. Approach.
Farida, that's kind of a you thing?
Yeah, Farida's gonna go straight for her and just be like, you
We've
have
got your
someone.
back.
You have someone I want back.
You notice she doesn't look at you, Farida. Those of you that have seen the Raven Queen before, she always seemed to be like staring off nowhere in particular or looking at the ground while you were talking. I have lots of people. You have to be more specific.
You took my sister. You took Kavalar.
Took? I did not take anything that was not freely offered.
I want her back.
Farida.
Mm-hmm.
As you say this, at the corner of the room, you see a patch of shadow begins to coalesce into Mahin.
Oh, we're doing this again. Okay.
He's pacing back and forth, rubbing his head over his hand over his horns. Yes, I should have gone with her. I know I should have gone with her, but it made sense at the time that I would remain behind in case Havilar came back here. I said, well, I'm such an old fool. How could I have allowed both of my daughters into danger? No, they will return. They've always returned. And he's pacing back and forth. And the Raven Queen just like slowly turns and looks at him. And she just says, how sad. So much pain in your temporary mortal existences. You must truly love your sister to have risked so much in her retrieval.
I would risk everything.
Unfortunately, Farida, that is not what is most important right now. I shall speak of such trivialities later.
You need help, don't you?
When you say that, an audible, like, oh, you will, kind of goes through all the Shadarkai. And you see for the first time ever, Farida, she does lift her face and look you square in the eye. And it is almost like everything else drops away and there's only you and her. What help do you offer, Warlock?
Something's going wrong with your plane. We know Vecna's trying something. He already found us. I think you would rather have our help than him. He doesn't have anything I want. You do.
Shaka.
I kind of look away, but I do kind of tilt my head to acknowledge that I overhear it.
Shaka, at the edges of the room, you see the yawning portal. You see Durnan with his iconic thick mustache wiping down the counter, and at a center table you see a circle of friends. And you are there. Their faces seem familiar, yet even their names don't completely leap to your mouth. There's a human paladin in Arakokra. They're all raising cups and laughing and having a wonderful time. All of you see this. All of you see Mahin, who is still pacing. You all see this scene just sort of forming at the edges of the room. As you sort of look around, the room is not so dissimilar from right when you walked into the fortress. There's objects, odds and ends, there's paintings, there's weapons, sculptures, things that obviously are of priceless value just to gaze upon, thrones, treasure chests, jewel-studded goblets, but there's also things that seem like their value is not obvious. Small wooden coins, dolls, hobby horses, just random things adorn all the walls of this place. But Shaka, that is the scene you see. In the Raven Queen, again, she doesn't look at you, Shaka, but it just sounds like she's right next to you. I made good on our arrangement last time, Shaka. I delivered you back from death in exchange for something that was of value to you. Do you think you were treated unfairly?
I think a deal can always be renegotiated. And I think if we have something you want and you have something we want, we can always come to another agreement that better befits all the parties involved.
Orkira Ildrex.
Hi.
Tell me. And you all see at the edge of the room again a group of shadowy figures appear, some of which you recognize. You see Averin, you see Freely, you see Penelope Halfpint, you see Alindra Scarbaran, for those of you that know them. And you see Orkira. And she's on her knees, and on the ground lay a worn, desiccated corpse of a dragonborn that looks just like her, laying on the ground. And all of them seem upset, and you very much hear Freely saying, no, I don't know who that is, but you're our Orkira. You're our Orkira in every way that matters. This is just a trick. I hate it in Rexentrum. I just want us to be able to just go and have everything be like it was. And he hugs Orkira around her neck. And you hear the Raven Queen, again, right here, Orkira, saying, your life has been restored more often than most. Your memories, your passion, transplanted from vessel to vessel. You're like a candle, passing the flame along.
Oh, that's what happens sometimes when you pray to a god of resurrection. They like to keep you around.
Is that what you want, Orkira Ildrex? Do you wish to continue passing from vessel to vessel? Or do you wish for wholeness, for peace?
I probably will someday, but not yet. No, I like helping people and doing things, and it gets rough sometimes, but that's still way more important to me.
The Raven Queen stands up. And when she stands up, it's like a wave of fog falls over the whole room. And you all see another scene. You see Farida, Orkira, Shaka, and Baloth. Farida.
Hey, that's me! Handsome Jens.
Yes, and you see each other as you were before. Full fleshy Baloth. Farida. In the moments before Orkira was going to initiate her plane shift into the Shadowfell to bring you here to get your sister back, this is the team that Farida assembled, quite consciously. What would you have said to them to get them to help you?
I don't know why she took Kavalar, but I can't do this alone. I don't know why she took your memories, Shaka, and I don't understand this deal that you say she made. But if you're willing to come with me, I will be so grateful, because I will tear that castle down with my bare hands if I have to. She doesn't belong there.
And you all would have said this was the moment before departing for the Shadowfell.
There, Farida, dry your tears. Of course I'll come with. The Raven Queen smiles upon me, it's clear. I would love to stand in her presence once more, and if we can aid Havilar, well, I've been her traveling companion for quite some time. Let us do what we may.
Really wish you would flip your priorities on that one, but okay, I'll take it.
I mean, go ahead.
I have a complicated history because some of what she says is true. But at the same time, I was under duress and may have made a hasty decision. And now my judgment of her is clouded because, if she would stoop so low to take, your sister, then that puts, to me, her integrity in question. So I'm completely down for us going together and putting an end to all this.
It sounds like we have a lot of questions that need answers. The only way to get those answers is to go talk to the Raven Queen herself. And if that's what we need to do, I can get us there, and I'm happy to help.
Thank you.
Orkira.
She told her. Go ahead.
Orkira initiates plane shift, as you have 100 times. And something went wrong, Orkira. Black cracks began forming at the periphery of reality. And as you all reached out to hold each other's hands, there was an explosion of eldritch necromantic power. And you all were gone. And you're back there in the room with the Raven Queen, and she does just say, several travelers have experienced similar difficulties as of late. Tell me, what happened? What was this ritual that you all went to investigate here?
There was a nagpa. It was casting something to disrupt the edges of your plane. It said something about the Dark Prince, and we think it worked with Vecna. We broke the ritual, but it's already done damage.
I made the ground go like boom. It's fine.
It was really cool.
Great.
Thanks.
And you see she looks at Nira, who just sort of nods in agreement. And the Raven Queen says, well, then you have my thanks. Vecna. Makes little sense. But at the same time, it seems all too obvious in hindsight. The Lich covets much as regards my place in power, but talks of his obsessions more convincingly than he will ever act on them. This plainer instability in these minor skirmishes are nothing to me. The power of the Shadowfell will respond and endure. Baloth.
My queen.
How is it that it is only at times of calamitous fracturing of reality that I find you there again and again?
What can I say? Bit of a weirdness magnet, I suppose. Great beings often find themselves at the confluence of events, and few are greater than I. I thank you again for your blessing, my queen.
Baloth, important point of clarification. Do you have the Wand of Orcus out and on display, or do you have it concealed?
Oh, he's been carrying it, so I would assume it's in his hand. It's fairly big. It's like the length of a human spine, so it's kind of hard to tuck away. And in fact, when he says blessing, he indicates it.
You see, she looks at it and her eyes narrow, and she turns and looks at you, Shaka, and she says, so freely my gift was rejected. Baloth, I assume he does not know you have it. Orcus.
Oh, no, I've been...
is.
Oh, Orcus. I thought you meant Vecna. He definitely knows. He actually showed up and made comments on it. Orcus, I have not seen him about, and he's kind of hard to miss. Very portly gent, you understand.
Wait, you all have seen Vecna? Where?
Shortly after we appeared. He appeared to me. We conversed. I assumed if he wanted the wand, he would have just slain me and taken it. I'm tough, but I'm no match for him. Then later, some of his deathlocks appeared. They seemed to want it, but I assumed they were just trying to take it to curry favor. Vecna, I'm sure, was charmed by me. Not literally charmed. I would not be so foolish as to try to charm me.
Vecna also said, or claimed, that it was his magic that may have unintentionally caused our plane shift to go awry.
She does just nod. I will deal with him soon. Once everything is put back to rights. Speaking of putting back to rights, you two. And she does point in the direction of Tatiana and Desmond.
We don't know why we're here, so you don't need to worry about us.
Oh, I can tell you why you're here. You're here because I called you. I knew I was in need of champions.
Us? That's right. Well, ask next time, maybe.
Ixnay.
She does stand and she begins walking towards you, Tatiana. Although physically she's much smaller than you, the gravity around her is undeniable as she approaches. And she says, "You don't know how many times you have been spared by my hand, do you? You're not aware of the nature of the domains you dwell in, or the gods that watch over them, are you?"
I take pride in only being aware of what is exactly present before me.
She looks at you, Desmond, and you very much feel like she's looking through you. Fate has been unkind to you.
You could say that.
Do you wish for revenge?
As delightful as that sounds, nah.
And what is it that you wish for? I must admit, very few heroes find their way into this room.
Thing that I would ask for would be peace among all the realms, but that's never gonna happen. So
Sorry, did you just say world peace is what you wish for?
I said peace
Realm
among
peace.
the realms.
Realm peace.
Different.
Realm
Peace.
Different.
Completely different thing. Yeah.
And like he's kind of leans into Tatiana's like, how much nicer would it be if we didn't have to be here fighting people for something that we didn't know we had to fight? We were hunting, we were getting food. It would be so nice to just be relaxing, eating food, finding new brisket. So
the one thing I would wish for is always having something to fight. So I don't know if I agree.
yeah, but the pits are not a realm thing. The realms aren't fighting one another at the pits. That's just people fighting at the pits for entertainment of other people. Bailoff, am I right on that?
Yeah, oh yes, and amazing entertainment, may I say, high quality with a great concession stand and excellent merchandise.
What's in the concession stand?
Oh, food, salty snacks, sugary treats,
See?
carbonated water filled with sugar.
No, I'm still not interested.
Oh, hot dogs.
Hot
Hot
dogs.
dogs. Elephant ears. You ever had an elephant ear? They're not actually elephant ears, I'll tell you that.
Oh, okay.
He's talking way more than I expected him to. I just figured to get
I
that
really
point
like
out of the way.
bubbles.
I
Sorry.
really just wanted that point of people go to the pits to see people fight and bet on which one of them is the better fighter. And they go home and have fun. I don't see that future for either of us. So part of me wants to go back to our friends. Mostly.
Is that even a question?
I just want to explore the forest. It's been too long. This forest isn't the forest. It's not the forest I know. And I want more of that. But that, meh. There's nothing you can grant me for me to see more forest. There's going to be forest everywhere we go. So don't worry about me.
Raven Queen?
Yes, Tatiana.
Sorry for that whole sidebar about snacks. There is something that I seek. You have taken me away from our other confidants, Desmond and I. Away from Valentine. Either bring them here or bring me back.
You see, she actually reaches out and she touches your hair, Tatiana.
You didn't get consent.
I will see you restored when this task is at its end. Desmond. And she reaches out and she touches your wolf's tooth necklace.
Don't.
Your life has been a series of riddles. I will tell you where you will find your answers. In the domain of Catarchus. You will find out everything you've been wondering about your mother, your father, and the unique circumstances you find yourself in.
Catarchus, you say?
There's a man named Harkin Lucas. Find him. He holds the answers you seek. And Tatiana.
Yes?
You were offered once to know the fate of Jibaku. And when she says that, at the edge of the room, you all see a Githyanki woman appear. although she has crow's feet around her eyes, she clearly is of an advanced age for a Gith, but has a sword in one hand and a dagger in the other. And shapes are around her, looming towards her. She has cuts and scrapes all over her, but she's very much still up and fighting.
Where is she?
Would you like to know?
I have to go to her. Of course I have to know. I have to help her.
She is beyond your help now, Tatiana.
Oh.
But she puts a hand on your shoulder and she says, her death was glorious.
I've been told this before. But where? And how? And where is her body, and was it interned? Because if so, we should burn it. Bodies don't matter.
Would you like revenge?
No. Jibaku was a warrior. She would have smiled upon any opponent who could best her, just as she taught me to do.
You see, she looks at you, and she looks you up and down, and she says, that is why you two have been called as my champions. I only choose the best to do what must be done. Then she turns and starts walking back towards the throne, and she says, fine. You wish to know about your sister, Havilar. Shaka wishes to renegotiate. Each of you wants something, some of which are operating only out of the goodness of their hearts, and I must say, Baloth the Entertainer, you have yet to name your price.
My price? Whoa. But you have already granted me such a gift. I would not wish to be greedy. But if you would favor the Black Pits with a visit by a celebrity of your caliber, well, who would I be to refuse? Who?
I believe I visit the Black Pits more than any other god. Death visits the Black Pits regularly, does it not?
Oh, most certainly, yes. Sometimes in truly explosive and spectacular fashion. But you, as I say, my queen, you have blessed me with an item of power. Allow me to keep this, and I shall sing your praises till the ends of eternity.
The trinket is meaningless to me, Baloth, and your gratitude is registered. Thank you for coming along this far. Perhaps when this is all done, there might be some foul beast once in the service of my enemies that might be redistributed towards the pits.
Oh, you as ever are gracious and generous, my queen. I would gladly accept.
Also, yeah, I do have something I want.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're right that I do this because I want to. I like helping people. I'm good at it. I get to travel, I get to do all sorts of stuff. And so I'm here to help my friends. And so me being here makes it more likely that your champions are going to succeed. What I want is for you to keep that in mind when the negotiation starts with Havilar and Shaka, because I'm here for them, and I want to get paid for my work.
And she looks at you and just nods. And then back at Farida. You know, your sister and father are brave and fearsome, but you are also both young tiefling. Tell me, do you wish to renegotiate the terms of your agreement? Imagine you could be free from them forever. No more Lorcan, no more Asmodeus, only freedom.
And then what? Then I have nothing, and you can just toss me aside and do what you want? I want Havilar back. That's what I want.
My children, do you feel tossed aside? In all the Shadarkai in unison say, no!
I have dealt with the devils. I know what loyalty is. It doesn't mean you're right. It's a good thing you have these people around you.
One last question. Child of the Dragonborn, how is it that it battles my tongue to say Basishathurgiish?
Basishathurgiish. What about it?
What if I were to offer an exchange? Not you for your sister, I know you'd say that, all heroes would. What if Mahin could pay your sister's tab instead? Would you wish it?
No.
Hmm.
You can't ask me to make that kind of a trade. That's not my decision.
Oh, of course I can. That is my stock in trade, is unbearable decisions. Havilar, Farida, Mahin, Orkira, Shaka, Tatiana, Desmond, Baloth. Mortals. Be clear, I value your lives. For the short moment that you glow so brightly, you illuminate all of reality, but you must understand your existence to me is like fireflies glimmering to each of you. I am infinite. Countless mortals pass through my realm and will for all time. So while this may seem unbearable to you, to me it is inevitable.
Then she's not important. She doesn't matter. Just give her back.
You have taken the wrong lesson from this young tiefling. Baloth, I think you...
Yes.
Or Kira may have the keenest insight into life and death, but you, Baloth, have the keenest insight into cost. Do you understand the bargain I have offered Farida and why it is I've done it?
I think, perhaps, Farida, if I may. You must surrender that which you love. Not to lose it, but to be willing to part with it. Am I on the right track, my queen?
Baloth, out of the corner of your eye, while you're talking, over at the edge of the throne room, you see a little drow boy holding on to a drow matron, and he's crying. "You must be strong, my son. We are drow. We do not show weakness. Lilith prizes strength, doesn't she? Look at me, my good boy. Understand. Your brother's birth complicates things for us. You know this, yes?"
I see. I remember this, yes. Yes, all too well. Oh. Hold on one moment.
That's it. That's memory housekeeping. The Raven Queen turns away from Baloth as he is looking back at this scene. And she looks at you, Frida. And she motions like she's about to do something when great cracks begin to open up across the throne room walls. What appeared to be smooth stone now flickering and fading in the same manner as the exterior walls of the fortress. The shadows and memories from which the Fortress of Memories is built are unraveling, even as the storm of shadow erupts where the wall above meets the sky. All of you give me perception checks. Delatov yells, "To arms! Everyone to arms!" And all the Shadowkai pull up their weapons. And you see the Raven Queen just looks around and holds her hands out and just clenches her fists. And you see the walls start to solidify again, like they are fighting back and forth with whatever she's doing. Shaka and Orkira, you all have spent enough time here to know that these storms in the Shadowfell, they defend against threats to the Shadowfell. So if it's happening in here, something is happening in this room.
I remember when we encountered one of these storms, I was able to half control it, and it felt like something else was also controlling it, right?
That is true. It seemed very intentional.
I think someone in here is controlling this storm. We've encountered this before. And I'm going to try to take over this storm since I've already done it once.
Excellent. Hang on a second here. Orkira, does Bless apply to skill checks or no?
It does not. Also, Bless is only a minute, so it's probably gone by now.
Perfect.
What if we talk really fast?
Can I do one thing while Orkira is doing that as well?
Absolutely.
I want to roll I guess an insight or an investigation on Delatov.
What is it that you're trying to figure out that will affect if it's insight or investigation?
When we kind of come to a realization that there's something in this room, I want to see if, I'll say that maybe we're talking about it out, or maybe Shaka mentioned something out loud about it, and he wants to see if she has any reaction to that.
Perfect. Give me insight.
Is it 18?
You sense no deception in Delatov. She draws her sword and is ordering Shadowkai around and is trying to move towards the Raven Queen to defend her. The Raven Queen herself really just seems not fazed by any of this. This is the most alert you've seen because she's very much paying attention, but she's just like concentrating on keeping the walls intact basically, and the whole place is shaking, but she doesn't seem panicked at all.
While this is going on.
Yes, Baloth. No, please, yes.
Baloth, having managed to get housekeeping to leave, Baloth is going to attempt an insight roll on this vision he is seeing, which I assume is a vision of his own past.
Oh, you absolutely remember the day, Baloth. As you're quite familiar with, well-to-do households in Minzobar and Zan are allowed a single son, and you had a younger brother that was born. But tell me, what happened after that? Was Baloth sent away, or was the little brother offered up?
The little brother was, in fact, offered up. Specifically to my aunt, who was, in fact, a high priestess of Lolth. She sacrificed him. Baloth was allowed to live. But Baloth then turned his back on Lolth, turned his back on Drow society as a whole, struck out on his own.
Was that because what god could demand such a thing, Baloth?
Baloth would not allow himself to live in such a society, one where he was constrained. He needed freedom. He needed chaos. He needed liberty.
I will say, for each of you that have seen the things in this room, what you saw previously when you came in were altered, twisted. Things that had happened, but not quite like that. It was almost more designed to injure what you saw before. Everything you've seen in this room is 100% exactly how it happened. However, as all of this chaos is erupting, sorry, Baloth, you said you were going to incite something else. I apologize. That roll, that happened. You remember the day clearly, Baloth. Yeah.
I will convey this to Farida. She's trying to show us our past, trying to show us lessons. I had a brother once.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was a long, long time ago.
I feel like that's not the kind of thing that time just erases, but mine's not past.
No, there's still time for your sister.
So she wants me to trade my father for Havilar. And that seems really wrong.
Well,
if it was me, it would be easier. Another person is... Your palace is falling apart. This is the only deal you'll make?
tell me something, Farida.
What?
Your father. You know him well, I assume. Do you not think he would willingly make this sacrifice?
I think he would.
Then perhaps you have your answer.
I don't think she wants his sacrifice. I think she wants... Because if it was that, she would go to Mehen. She wants my hurt.
Yep.
She wants me to sacrifice him and live with that. And I don't want to give that to her.
There's plenty of hurt to go around. We've all got enough hurt. We don't need to do more of it. And especially not when, like Tatiana said, you're not asking for consent.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, this is a game. This is a game to the Raven Queen.
Is You all watch all the Shadowkai are attempting to kind of form up battle lines, but they can't. They don't know what it is they're fighting. They're like rotating and trying to get side by side as the Raven Queen just stands in the middle, casting her magic. And Delatoth and Nira have kind of fallen in on both sides of her, kind of with their weapons drawn, ready to do battle. As this shadows begin to amass near where the roof and the ceiling would have connected, you couldn't even see a ceiling in this building before. Shrieking like a gale, the shadow descends towards the floor, its tendrils arcing out of touch with the walls in the out to touch the walls in the bone-carved throne. The Raven Queen steps back, hands raised in some manner of powerful magic on her lips, and then she freezes. As the shadow tendrils convulse and converge around her, the dark sphere of lightning at the storm center forces its way into her chest, and her eyes glowing black suddenly as her body arcs back and rises into the air. The Raven Queen is caught within a roiling sphere of eldritch power, frozen in midair, unmoving and seemingly unaware. And that is a good place for us to take a little break. So we're going to do our quick 15 here. We will be right back with the Raven Queen under attack. Don't go anywhere. So, a black mass has formed around the Raven Queen, lifting her off the ground and apparently incapacitating her, as all the Shadowkai are starting to form up and like looking up towards the ceiling and still looking for their enemy. What would you all like to do?
I controlled this thing once. Can I try again?
It is not listening, Orkira. It very much seems to be firmly in the grasp of someone else.
Okay, then. Oh, whoever's got.
However, Orkira, because of that, you can give me insight with advantage.
Okay. Oh, it's almost a nat 20. 25.
You see, Nira, the high priestess of the Raven Queen, has like run up to it, and she reaches out and touches it and pulls her hand back. As you immediately see her hand begins to turn black and wither a little bit right when she touches it. But Orkira, because you have controlled this before, and you realize there was a mental component to it. The storms are supposed to protect the Shadowfell. So somehow, someone has essentially turned the Shadowfell's defenses against the Raven Queen.
Ooh.
I will say that to everybody. I can't control this. Someone else is in control of all the defenses of the Shadowfell.
Who?
I don't know, but they've...
How can the Raven Queen not control the storms?
Yes, for you.
Yes, I thought she was the Shadowfell.
From the pulsing sphere of shadow, new tendrils unfurl, lashing out to strike the walls in a dozen places. At each of these locations, the flickening stone yawns wide and a dozen portals open to admit a huge horde of demons rampaging into the throne room.
Oh, come on.
All of you roll initiative.
But wait, no.
Oh, okay.
They're just coming to say hi.
That I didn't hear you, but that looked like a 20 face. Was that what that was for Farida?
21. Yes,
she's ready to she's ready to go this time. All right. Hold on. Well, hold on. Give me 1 second here. Let me see one thing. Whoops. Perfect. Tatiana?
13.
All right. Shaka?
Got a nat 1 for a total of 5.
You've successfully disbelieved, Shaka.
Yeah. These aren't demons.
Or Kira?
Nat 20 for 22.
Hey.
Kira going first?
It's all those times you were last in the second. This must be the second round, honestly. It's because they already ambushed the Raven Queen. That's why. Baloth?
14.
Hey.
And I assume I am no longer casting double spells, yes?
Correct. That magic has left you after the battle with the nagpa. However, you also don't have a chance to do nothing anymore either. Desmond?
That's the one I'm more excited about, to be honest.
Desmond?
That'll be a 13.
Perfect. Okay, Orkira, you are going to be first. As these portals open up, this horrifying stench comes rolling out of it that, Farida, you absolutely recognize as sulfur. However, as this onslaught of demons comes pouring in, and the Shadarkai rush to engage, and you see Nira is still trying to manipulate this sphere, although with one hand now. Delatoth very much is just standing in front of the throne to protect the Raven Queen against anybody that comes near her. Desmond and Tatiana, you hear something.
So how's it going for the two of you? Making progress?
Why does it not surprise me that you're here?
Wait, you can hear her too?
Of course I can hear her.
No, you are you. Of course you hear you.
Look, believe it or not, I actually have some interest in making sure you get out of here.
Really?
What would that interest be?
You'll find out later. But for now, I highly suggest that you check over there. And you might find something of interest for both of you. You can ignore it if you so choose, but quite frankly, considering what's happening and considering what I'm hearing from my side of the realms, you may want to take me up on this one.
Desmond, I don't know why, but I believe her.
As she points over towards, you see the walls are disintegrating and a lot of these keepsakes and things are disappearing, but there is a long silver sphere and a very ornate bow in the direction that Voronika is motioning you.
I'm gonna run for the spear.
I'm gonna go for the bow. That seems like kind of my thing.
Excellent. We will resolve what that means when we get to you, but currently, literally all hell is breaking loose. Or Kira, what? Out of important point of clarification. Or Kira, out of the portal, the nearest portal, you see what looks like a towering four-armed figure. He's got two monstrously large arms with crab claws at the end, and two other arms that look vaguely human. Its face is actually not so dissimilar from a dragonborn, but it is more wolf-like than dragon, even though it's got long horns. And you also see two very skinny and desiccated beings with long, sharp claws that are already dripping blood come out, and they kind of look around, and one of them looks at you, and in the crab-clawed one just says, "A cleric, delicious." And these three start coming your direction. And it is your turn, Orkira.
I am not a snack. No. Just to be clear, these are all fiends, right?
Give me religion or nature, unless there's some, you know what? This is a thing you do. They're fiends. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I was about to say.
They're fiends. Yeah.
This might not be the first time I have done this to a swath of fiendish creatures. I pull out my holy symbol and I hold it over my head and I go, "This is the biggest nope I've got for this right now." And from me is going to explode out divine light as I am casting holy aura. So creatures in my choice in that radius, which is all of us, have advantage on all saving throws, and other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against them until the spell ends, which is a minute. In addition, when a fiend or an undead hits an affected creature with a melee attack, the aura flashes with brilliant light. The attacker must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be blinded until the spell ends. So if any of you get hit by any of these people, they gotta make a flash. And you have advantage on all saving throws. And she's gonna do that.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Thank you kindly.
You all keep track of that because I absolutely will forget. So yes.
And then I'm going to fly like 10 feet up into the air and away from the thing that wants to eat me because these wings are not tasty.
Excellent. I mean, that's, not gonna yuck anybody's yums here.
I'm gonna.
That is that centered on a space or centered on you, or is it a thing that everybody has now?
It's a thing everybody has now as long as I concentrate on it. I had to cast it within a certain radius, and now it's done. So it's concentration up to a minute, and from my reading, at this point, they can go wherever they want because it explodes and they all get it.
Perfect. Okay. Anything else from Orkira?
No, that's my big one. That's one of the biggest I got.
Excellent. Okay. Farida, it is your turn.
Okay. So the things that have come in, are any of them carrying weapons? Or is it all
Not that you can tell. Yeah, they all seem just claws and terribleness.
I really do want to use her infernal aspect, but I feel like I'm absolutely wasting it since it only does things particularly. Well, I guess it does some things. But okay, they're demons, so I will do that. So she once again sort of digs down into her connection to the Nine Hells, and fire races over her, unfolding from her back like a pair of fiery wings. And she projects an aura of menace, so everybody within 30 feet of her has to make a wisdom saving throw, or be frightened.
Perfect. Let's see. What is the save on that?
21.
What kind of save was it? Sorry.
Wisdom.
You see the two paler ones start to back up a little bit, but the one with the crab claws just sort of like looks at them and says, "Oh, what are you so afraid of? We're going to crack them all open and suck out their bones." So the one of them seems unfazed. The other two seem to have been given pause. Again, out of all of these portals, like many demons are pouring out here. So there is sort of like a swath forming around you all between Orkira's light and Farida's menace, as the Shadarkai and everything else are actively fighting all around you here. Anything else from Farida?
No, I think I can't. I don't have anything else I can do alongside that, so.
Perfect. How many hit points does Orkira have?
139.
You see the crab-clawed one turns and looks and says, "You're gonna be a tricky one. That's quite enough of that." And it holds up a claw. In Orkira, you feel what feels like a sledgehammer hit you right between the eyes. And you all see Orkira falls out of the air and down to the ground, stunned by power word stun. Which does break your concentration, I do believe.
Yeah.
You see Orkira just falls basically rigid to the ground. And it just says, and starts walking towards her, clacking at its claws. The other two, which are currently frightened, cannot move any closer. However, what you do see is some of these other creatures are rushing out of the portal, and two of them run right up to Delatoth, who just and just like cuts them down immediately and stands there. The two creatures look at Farida kind of covering their eyes, but they just hold their hand out, and the two ghouls that Deliktoth killed get up again. And she just like holds back and kind of takes a step back again, positioning herself between the Raven Queen and them, and continues fighting. However, Baloth, your turn.
Very well. I'm going to take a look at all of them and yell out, "Do you know what this is, you idiots?" Brandishing the Wand of Orcus. I'm going to attempt to cast Major Image. Another portal opens behind Baloth as Orcus strides forth, screaming, "Fools! This one is my favored! Back to the abyss with you!"
Baloth, you see kind of through all of the legions that are pouring out, about half of them do stop or like looking at each other like they don't know what's going on. And you notice the other half of them seem wholly unfazed by this. Give me insight, Baloth.
Insight. Nat 20.
Yeah.
Baloth, again, you've traveled
On an
far and
insight
wide.
instead of an attack.
You've traveled far and wide, including spending some time in the abyss. Many of them have true sight. It's not possible to trick them. But several of them do very much seem to be taking the bait. I will say with that natural 20, you notice this crab-clawed fellow who's still making his way towards Orkira is wholly unfazed by it. Your trickery won't save her. But it very much gives some of the others a chance for the Shadarkai to sort of form up their ranks and continue fighting.
When he says that, I say, "What about this trickery?" As Marmadark appears beside him and takes a bite, or tries to, with my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
That is total of 22.
More than enough.
Right. And that will be 10 points of damage to him.
Perfect. It lets out a horrifying hiss. Perfect. Anything else from Baloth?
I'm going to try to basically get in between him and the Raven Queen.
Excellent. Desmond and Tatiana are technically acting simultaneous. I'm not sure which one of you has the higher dex. I assumed it was going to be Desmond, but maybe not. Which one of you has the higher dexterity?
13.
Gotta go back to my sheet. I was trying to add the boo.
Mm-hmm. Also, Tatiana, you saw where I sent it to you, right? Windvane?
Mm-hmm. It's equipped.
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was trying. Mine's harder to find. My dex is 17.
Then Desmond, you
That's
will
higher.
go first. Yep. Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
I did the math.
Only slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Desmond, when you grab this bow, it just feels good. It feels like how it felt when you were in the Feywild.
that's a real good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
A very, very, very welcome change to how things are here. It is, it looks like it is carved out of a single piece of wood, but like it's got elaborate tree decorations carved on either sides of the hand grip. And there's also a quiver.
What is in the quiver?
Arrows.
They're like anything special about the arrows?
4 of them. You have one has green fletching, one has long green fletching, one has reddish fletching, and one has white fletching. You get the distinct sense they have something to do with the seasons.
And then it just like Desmond just kind of like holds it and just admires it for a second and just, Tatiana, should I? But if I were to use now,
She's looking at the sapphires glistening on this spear. Huh?
should I use this now or should I wait?
No time like the present.
Why wait? Use it.
Uh-oh. Now I'm worried if we're in alignment.
I don't think I have a choice. So he picks the fancier one, the one that looks like if he touches it, and I get the feeling as I touch it that just feels like summertime, just feels like heat and radiance and just happy, like plants, feels, everything just feels right. And Desmond pulls it back to fire and fires it near a group of enemies.
You shoot the summer arrow?
Yes.
It hurtles out, and you all see it lands right in the middle, in a spray of flower petals and what looks like sunshine. A newborn lynx appears. It's not very big, but it turns and it looks at you, Desmond, and it just nods, and you all hear a roar erupt as it pounces on the nearest demon and starts biting and clawing. Excellent.
Good job.
Anything else from Desmond? Technically,
Desmond,
you can shoot a second arrow if you so desire.
Desmond, seeing that there's only 4, doesn't want to...
To be clear, I realize the description is a little weird. It can shoot normal arrows. You just also have 4 special arrows.
Okay, cool. I was concerned. I was like, let's not be firing.
This is a Fixis, the bow of Nylea. And
thank you
Tatiana,
all for voting for it.
Thank you. And Tatiana has gained the service of the Wind Vein.
All right, so with that, then I'm just going to fire an arrow at the same enemy that lynx is nomming on right now, because why not?
Note you have +3 to attack and damage, and it crits on a 19 or 20.
I saw that
like,
part.
As you knock an arrow and look down, Desmond, it's just like everything is completely clear. It's like everything slows down and it's easy to find.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Let me double check one thing. Great. All right. Just want to make sure I'm firing the right damage. All right. So rolling the hit. And I get the +3. Is that in addition to my normal?
Yeah.
Boost.
It's,
yeah. Then that's
an
a
additional 3. Yep.
25.
It's a very accurate weapon. Yes. Easily hit.
Perfect. Which means with an additional, I imagine the D4 that we had previously is gone.
That has worn off. It's been more than a minute.
Thought so. So then I'm gonna roll my D6 for damage. And he gets additional +3 to damage?
Yep.
Perfect. Then that is a 6 damage shot.
Perfect. Tatiana. As you reach out and grab this sphere, it feels like you feel when you're flying. Not just levitating, the times you've turned into a winged creature and felt yourself just flying through the sky, up in the clouds. It's almost like a light breeze whips up, even when you touch it.
This is just for flavor, but her feet hover a few inches off the ground when she holds it.
Part of you
That's
kind
a
of wants to,
good one.
especially as you can see the sky now, part of you just kind of wants to leave, to tell you the truth. You're like, I mean, do I even need to be here? Like, you haven't flown in the Shadowfell yet. Like, it looks like there's no stars, but maybe you just haven't gone high enough, Tatiana.
Doesn't that
Ooh.
feel wonderful?
Am I supposed to leave here?
No.
Veronica.
No,
I'm
you
feeling
stay.
strange things.
Stay and fight. Show them the warrior you are.
Oh, that does sound fun. Okay. Can we see, aside from these minions, what is hurting the Raven Queen?
Again, she is encased in this black sphere of energy. That out from it are coming all these tendrils that are opening up portals.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the sphere of energy itself might be the thing, or we're not yet aware of where.
You're not aware. It's basically you're aware of the jail. You're not aware of the jailer. Yep.
Oh, I'm so tempted. Veronica, you don't know, I feel I can dispel magic, but the spear is so pointy and shiny. I gotta go for some of these minions. Unless, has anybody tried attacking the tendrils yet?
Nope. I will say you saw Nira touch it in her hand, like shrivel, and she pulled it back.
Oh, I've been burned before. No, thank you. You know what? With Wind Vein in my hand, I feel the air blow my hair back, and I'm going to run towards the closest of these beasties.
The crab-clawed one is the one that is actively heading towards Orkira, who is currently stunned.
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, go ahead and have at it.
I'd also like to go reckless, and before I attack, I'll use my bonus action to rage.
Perfect. Absolutely. Have at it.
Ha! Digital dice don't fail me. Oh, nat 20! That's a 31 to hit!
Hey, more than enough.
I guess I didn't need advantage, but now the Clarab thing will have advantage against me or whoever.
You again, I don't know if the digital tools are going to account, because you do get +2 to attack and damage, and as you stab this thing, lightning erupts from the tip of the spear when you stab it, which is also going to be doubled when you roll your damage. Go ahead and give it to me.
9. 18 then.
Perfect. That's only on your first hit, so go ahead and roll again.
Oh, and when I hit, the target takes an extra 1d6 lightning. Is that already incorporated?
It's not, and that would be doubled also on your
Let's do 1d6. Come on. It's thinking.
That's how it goes.
Maybe I'll just roll a real die in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, that was a 5, so that's an extra 10. So 28 so far. Let's just attack again.
All right, have at it.
The next is a 23 to hit.
More than enough. You all do notice as Tatiana is stabbing this thing, she does come like slightly off the ground and is just moving all around him, stabbing at it.
Okay, that's another. And both of these lightning damage attacks are doubled again?
Only if you got it was double because you got a natural 20.
I forgot how D&D works. Yeah.
It's okay. It's a lot to keep track of. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that was 10
D6.
damage and a D6 is going to make it 16.
Perfect. Excellent. Anything else from Tatiana?
She says, I eat crab for dinner.
Perfect. All right. After Tatiana is Shaka.
Since everybody is focusing on creepy crawly crab person, I'm gonna try to keep the mobs in check.
Okay.
So I'm gonna set up a wall of light. That is, tell me, are the portals?
It's all sides.
How are they oriented?
It's just coming. There's no pattern to them. They're just opening up and stuff is pouring out of it.
Well, I'm gonna pick the side that's the least defended, like right now.
Okay.
Because I have the feeling that most of the party is attacking in one direction.
Yeah, and Delatoth is only one person, so she's kind of on one side. Are you? You're trying to protect the Raven Queen? Is that what I heard you say you were doing? Sorry?
I'm trying to protect the Raven Queen and us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
So
it.
like, I basically want to set it up kind of midway between the portal on the least defended side and
Perfect.
us.
Excellent. Anything else?
Yeah, so basically, so it's, 60 feet long, 10 feet high, 5 feet thick. So any creature in the area has to make a con save of 16.
Perfect. Or what happens?
Or they take 4d8 radiant and are blinded.
You definitely see large numbers of the assault attacking demons are like holding back, hissing. You can roll the damage and give it to me when you got it. Anything else for Shaka?
So the damage is 16. And as a... How high up is the Raven Queen? Like the sphere? Is it like really high up?
Oh, no. She's only like 10 feet off the floor.
Okay. I want to, the bonus action, Misty Step to the top of the sphere.
Perfect. The moment that you do, when your feet touch it, intense pain shoots through you and you take 13 psychic damage. But you do land on it. But you get the distinct impression that it is going to keep hurting you. Okay. Anything else?
I guess I'll use my movement to move. Well, yeah. If it's only 10 feet, I'll just move off of it.
Perfect. Step off of it. Perfect. Where the Raven Queen still hangs motionless at the heart of the shadow sphere, the tendrils of the storm begin to dig into the walls. The flickering intensifies, manifesting as stone crumbling to shadow and flowing away on the wind. The walls of the Fortress of Memories are becoming translucent, then clear, taking on the appearance of cracked glass. Then that glass shatters, unraveling to shadow that's been torn away by rising wind. Kira, give me a con save to see if you break out of the stun.
21.
That is enough to free you. However, unfortunately, it's at the end of your turn, so it does take your turn snapping out of it. Yep.
What'd I miss?
Farida, it is your turn.
We still don't have any sign of what's causing the shadow sphere, right?
Correct.
Okay, let's just hit some demons.
Tatiana is actively involved with the crab.
Abby stab
Yeah.
on that crab.
I will say again, Farida, this is kind of a thing you do. You are aware that it is a glabrizu.
That's good because Erin knew too. Those things are weird. Okay, I think on the one hand, Farida feels like she should leave it to Tatiana because she's doing an amazing job, but she's also very used to like teaming up with Havilar and doing sort of like hit it with the magic, hit it with the weapon. So she's gonna cast Crown of Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done this before. You can cast it and then use the bonus action to zip a star over there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get an attack with it when it comes.
Cool. I would like to do that.
Perfect.
So I'm
Go ahead,
like
roll.
a big flamey angel with a halo of stars. It's great. 22.
More
That's
than enough.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. More than enough.
So we've got 24 damage. The star zips out, hits that Glabrazu, avoiding Tatiana.
Tatiana, you see as you're stabbing at this, it's turning and looking at you, and this like arc of light whizzes over and hits it in the head, and it looks back towards Farida.
Oh, beauteous.
Anything else from Farida?
That's it.
Perfect. That does make it the Glabrizu's turn. Tatiana, give me a wisdom save.
Did anybody cast anything that?
I did, but it's gone.
Yeah.
Yep,
It's
not
gone
this
now.
time. Yep.
Gone. You can do it.
It was up for a glorious
That's
second.
a 9.
That is unfortunately not enough. Excellent. Is you feel...
I did say I was doing reckless attack before I rolled that nat 20, so it gets advantage against me.
You did, and that's okay. Tatiana, you just feel confused. Like, none of this really makes sense. And you all watch Tatiana just kind of stops. And looks like...
Why are sapphires so shiny?
You see, the Glabrizu just looks at you and smiles and continues walking towards Orkira.
Sideways or like forward?
Got crab arms, not crab legs.
Okay.
Yep.
Sideways.
Although it cannot do anything else yet, as it's preparing to do what it said it was going to do to the cleric. That is all of it. Baloth, you see that something has happened to Tatiana. She was fighting so fiercely and has just seemed to have given up. And you all again are being beset on all sides. Apparently, only a few of the demons seem to be focused on you. At least 2 of them are afraid of Farida and staying over there. This crab gentleman seems to not have been fazed by any of this.
Oh, he's no gentleman. Let's see. So, my illusion of Orcus, about half, sort of like the lower ranks of the demons that didn't have true sight, so the weaker ones probably have fled. Have they gone back through the portals, or?
Well, no. You notice that's actually one thing you notice immediately is there seems to be no way back through the portal. This is a one-way trip. But it's some of them. I mean, they are attempting to fall back, and you can tell the higher rank ones are very much like arguing with them to keep going, and the Shadarkai are seizing the advantage. So you've given them a decisive advantage here.
Okay, so I've witnessed Tatiana before she got confused. Like she got a good few whacks on this guy, right? And then Farida hit it with a thing.
Yeah.
Well,
it's damaged. You can see where it's been harmed.
I think the time might be right then. Baloth looks at the Glazebrew and says, "Hey, Mr. Pinchy, one good turn deserves another. Power word stun."
And it does just stand there. Like it looks at you like it's about to say something like,
Baloth, that was amazing!
and stands there unmoving. Anything else from Baloth?
Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong. If Marmadark just takes a bite out of him, that's not going to break him out of his stun, is it? He gets to make a save, but...
Yeah, he will get a chance to come out. It does not mean he will come out. Yep. Power word stun's
what
pretty
I'm
rough.
saying is, if I bite him, if Marmadark bites him, does that give him an automatic save, or does he just get one on his next round?
Yeah, no. If any time he's hurt, he gets a chance to come out.
You know what? We're gonna be like, Marmadark, here, boy. He's just gonna call him back because I don't think.
Actually, actually, hold on a second. Power word stun is an 8th level spell, and it does not say that damage breaks it. So I'm gonna say, actually, no. You just sort of beat on him. Yeah.
Oh, then he says, Marmadark, eat him up.
Marmadark will have advantage because he's incapacitated.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's either an 18 or a 19.
Actually, let me double check.
Hit?
I'm so used to saying more than enough. I'm like, is it more than enough? Let's see. That is enough. Yes.
Big tough demon.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Marmadark will do 11 points of damage.
Perfect. All right. Anything else from Baloth?
That'll be it.
Excellent.
The illusion of Orcus is still there, so hopefully still sowing some discontent in the lower ranks.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, it absolutely has given the Shadarkai a significant advantage. Perfect. Desmond, it is your turn.
I've muted. Desmond is also a fan of the stunned Shadarkai and likes this whole new bow thing. So he knocks another regular arrow and fires.
Perfect.
And that will be a 19.
That is
by
a hit.
default, and that's before the bonus, so yay. The damage on that first is 7.
Okay.
And then for the second shot, because
you
why
included
not?
your +3 to that damage, correct?
The +3 to damage, it's 4, but without that +3.
Got it.
And the second shot is
that was a 19 total before, right?
19 before any of the.
Recall, it crits on a 19 or 20. That is a critical, sir.
True. What does that do to the damage? I don't think I
Doubles it
rolled crits very often. Oh, so
Yeah.
perfect. So then that's in 14.
Well,
that first
yeah,
damage.
I say it doubles it all. Okay, chat. It doubles the dice. It does not double the bonus. So, right.
So I roll another die for damage, is
Yep.
what you're saying. Okay, cool. I need to do this whole critting thing way more often.
You know what? Help me help you. Did you want to slap a hunter's mark on it?
Of course.
Well, then that's going to add an additional 2d6 because the hunter's mark will be doubled also.
Let's go ahead and do all of this. And that's to all of it, or just this one damage?
This one attack.
All right, cool. So then that second d6 is a 6. So that's a 9 after the +3. And then combine that with the 7 and double all of those. Ooh, that's fun. 16? So 32?
Perfect. Tell me what it looks like when Desmond kills this thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Desmond knocks the arrow and just pulls it back and just lets it fly, watches it go through its crabby face, and somehow, somewhere inside that arrow is the power of the gods, because its crabby face explodes and then sends the hands, like the claws, in opposite directions. And
Well
Desmond
done.
feels very sad that he doesn't have butter.
Look what you just did. Didn't that do wonderful?
Showmanship.
It does.
Enjoy it.
Sorry, question, everyone. What are we doing here?
Save her!
Well, we're still holding back all these hordes.
Huh.
There's a
still
bunch
more.
of demons.
Across a broken expanse of shadow slaked rubble that was once the Fortress of Memory's great outer walls, pale discs of light begin to flare, hanging in the air. More portals, but these aren't being sourced by the corrupted shadow storms. Rough edged circles of fire. They vary in size from a few feet tall to 2 to 3 times the height of a human, and suddenly erupt all at once with a blazing red light. Creatures are moving, spilling forth from the portals. Undead this time, shrieking as they spread out around the fortress site like a wall.
Wait a minute. The thing that cast a spell on me just died.
Let me see if confusion is concentration or not. Let's see.
Let's hope so.
It is. You do snap out of it when it dies, Tatiana.
No! Stab the crab! Well, oh. Thank good. Nicely done, Desmond.
Thank you. Do you have any butter?
All of you give me either Arcana or Religion.
First, can I roll for butter?
There's only one character that I know consistently would have butter on them, and that is Sophia's, and she's not here. So,
I thought it might have been me. I didn't know where you were going with that.
give me Arcana or Religion.
17.
17.
24.
Did I hear 24?
19.
19. Shaka, it makes sense. Actually, Shaka and Farida, you all are going to understand this. This feels completely different. Whatever happened last time felt like that power was being generated from inside the Shadowfell. This very much feels like it is being generated from outside the Shadowfell. Like, this very much has the stench of abyssal power all over it. And you all see zombies, skeletons, ghouls come pouring out when Orkira, you spot at the very edge, at the farthest portal, coming your direction, a huge, towering, undead monstrosity that just all around it, wisps of darkness and tendrils kind of drop off of it. And you see a couple of the Shadarkai that were stationed near it come running towards it. And as it's walking, they get close and they just die. As it slowly kind of stomps that way as these undead hordes come pouring on. You realize you have a couple of rounds before it gets here, but now a second wave of the attack has begun. There's still, the Shadarkai seem to be doing all right with the demons inside the throne room, but as the fortress is falling apart, essentially a second undead army has appeared and is now coming in on you all. However, it is Tatiana's turn.
So there's an undead army, and I have a spear.
You got some other things, but yes.
I wonder. You gave me a very powerful spear.
I did. That can do some very powerful things.
But
I didn't
know.
give it to you. The good people of Idle Champions gave it to you.
Oh, well, thank you, good people.
I mean, maybe I went specifically shopping for something I thought that you'd enjoy and would work thematically, but I had no say over whether or not you would actually get it. You're looking at that Orb of Devastation, aren't you?
Well, I mean, when granted the power of an devastation orb.
It literally says an Orb of Devastation. Essentially what that means, to give you the TLDR, is you can kind of summon a hurricane, basically.
I don't like to be confused! And in her rage, she slams the spear down into the earth beneath her and casts Devastation Orb with the Song of the Four Winds.
Excellent. You all see presumably over towards where the undead are, I assume.
Yeah, just wherever the biggest block of them is that my friends are not.
Perfect. You all see right in the middle, just a pulsing ball of light opens up. And again, wind just starts whipping around it. Several of the smaller things, the skeletons and whatnot, begin to get picked up and thrown around immediately. Some of the larger creatures just kind of blow their head and kind of trudge through it, even though like rocks and debris begin hitting them and things like that. Excellent. Anything else for Tatiana?
Yeah, well, does performing a ritual count as spell casting that would make me lose my rage?
You know, because this is a happy occasion, I'm going to say that I'm going to let this get in under the rage. Because you're willing the weapon to do it. I know. Do not come for me, chat. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you have this.
I only asked to get you in trouble. There's nothing else I want to do with it right now.
I mean, again, the problem with all of this is surely by now everyone must know how to the very depths of my heart I do not care. But yes, I'm here for you guys. Yes. Okay.
Great.
Didn't that feel wonderful to embrace nature and the power in your hands?
Yes. Yes, it did. Veronica, what are you doing now? Why can't we be as one as we once were?
Get through this, and we can talk about it later.
Do you promise?
Of course.
Okay then. Did you see that? It was big.
It's really awesome. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I was talking to someone in my head, but yes, Orkara. I'm glad you're impressed.
Well, you said it out loud, and so I thought you were looking for reinforcement. And
I was looking right at you too. It was awkward.
So, Shaka, again, to be clear, you all, what was the Raven Queen's throne room, as the fortress is basically disintegrating. You're outside now, essentially. There are still demons actively fighting, but the Shadarkai are doing all right. Between the Orcus illusion and the fact that these were the Raven Queen's top soldiers, that's why they were here, they're doing a pretty good job at holding the room. Now, as the inner and outer walls of the Fortress of Memories have fallen, there is now this second onslaught that is teleporting in that you are aware are coming from somewhere else by a different power. But it is your turn, Shaka.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you were muted. Sorry.
Yeah, I was. So I'm gonna launch. I can launch a radiant attack from the wall of light. So I'm gonna launch it, assuming that this monstrosity is in 60 feet and I can see it. I'm gonna launch a ranged attack. So let's see what I get on the hit. My computer stops being weird. Okay. All right. So 16 to hit.
That is not enough. You see the light arcs out and goes towards it, and it is just like consumed by the ambient darkness around it. You also notice, Shaka, that some of the undead that still have some meat on them just wither and bubble and melt as this thing just goes walking past them, coming your direction. Anything else from Shaka? Oh, we got him and we got him back. Anything else from Shaka?
I don't know what happened. No, so I use that action. I would like to let's see. No, I think I'll stay where I am, so I don't think I'll do any movement. So I think I'm good.
Perfect. You will see is this thing is approaching. Hold on one second here. Hold on. Let's see. We're gonna do this by the book here. Baloth, give me a wisdom save.
Let's see here. Oh, no, I'm not proficient in those. So that's only going to be a 16, which is probably not very good at all.
You all see as the creature is walking forward, it just points at Baloth. And you all see a crackling beam comes out of it and hits Baloth square in the chest. And terror comes over his face. Even the skull still seems afraid somehow. And he stops moving.
Question.
Yes.
Question, is this a fear effect?
Well, it's multiple things. While you may be immune to the fear, you are not immune to the paralysis.
Very well.
And also take 26 necrotic damage.
26 necrotic?
Mm-hmm. In Baloth Yes. That is not accounting for any sort of mitigation. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Baloth is a drow of many talents.
I'm just checking especially when I'm holding these artifacts. So I am immune to the fear because of the Wand of Orcus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, this is paralyzation, not petrification, right?
Correct.
Okay, no, then I am paralyzed. I don't look scared, though. I look...
You look very cool otherwise, yes. All of you, give me a con save.
Is this because of an air orb in the middle of the room?
No.
Okay, because that also...
You notice it walks right through the orb of devastation. It is slowing down all the other undead. It walks through it like it's not even there. This thing's about 40 feet tall, by the way. It's huge.
40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
Those are some low saves I'm seeing rolling through here. Okay.
I wish we had that advantage.
More con saves. Perfect. Actually, it looks like... who am I missing? Tatiana has made the save. Who do I not have? Baloth, con save, please, sir.
Con save? I am proficient in that. That will be a total of 23.
Tatiana in Baloth, you all see this just black smoke that is rolling off of this creature coming towards you. Tatiana and Baloth, you all make it. Unfortunately, the rest of you, Shaka, Farida, Orkira, and Desmond, you each take 14 points of necrotic damage, and your life is draining into this thing. Like, you feel it is not just damaging you, it is literally anti-life, especially as you're close enough to see it. This isn't just a normal undead. It is comprised of pure negativity. Its very presence is killing you. However, it is Orkira's turn.
There's a lot going on.
A lot's happening.
My friends, including the new ones, are super deadly. But there's 2 different portals from 2 different places, and undead and fiends, and this whole big smoky thing with the Raven Queen. Mm-hmm. How do I figure out, or can I figure out, or can I take a look around and figure out who's controlling what?
You can give me a straight up wisdom check, Orkira.
Okay. It's an 18. Not my best.
You feel like whoever's doing this isn't here. Especially as you see Nira, the High Priestess of the Raven Queen. Like, you can hear her talking to Delatoth. They're trying to figure it out. But whoever's doing this is not on the plane currently.
Okay.
I mean, plane of battle, not the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's potentially nobody in this area that I could point towards and say, go kill that person.
Again, Orkira has traveled far and wide. Give me another wisdom check.
Okay.
I will say, if Orkira just happens to know of a certain demon lord that has a particular beef with the Raven Queen, that is information Orkira possesses. Otherwise, roll for it.
I got a 21. I don't think Orkira has encountered anything, so 21.
You've heard the stories, especially because friends of yours did encounter him. Baloth saw him. Averin saw him. Orcus has been trying to take over the Shadowfell for years. He is a demon lord, and the Nagpa did talk about the twin lords of the Shadowfell and the 2 conquerors that were coming for the Raven Queen.
I'm gonna whip my head around at everybody. Are Orcus and Vecna working together? This is Orcus. That's Vecna. This is all bad. And she's gonna clap her hands together.
You see, Delatoth looks at you and she's like, it can't be. They would never. And Nira, looking at this orb, is like, and yet this power is unlike any we have ever encountered. If they are cooperating, that is terrible.
I have one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have the Book of Exalted Deeds, any spell that I cast counts for 1 that I casted at 1 level higher, which is awesome. Does that mean if
there's like a lot of pictures of me in that book, by the way. Like, I mean, there's some great stuff that I've done. They got my hair right and everything. Like,
they always get your good side. I mean, you don't really have a bad side.
I've only got good sides, Orkira. That is true. Yes.
Yeah. So the reason that I ask is because of that nice big spell that I cast that immediately went away, Holy Aura. That's an 8th level spell. I was wondering, because my book lets me cast things at a higher level, can I burn my 7th level slot and try again?
Here's what I will allow. You can roll for your divine intervention, Orkira.
Okay.
I realize the chances are not necessarily high, but you never know.
Wait, is this instead of doing something?
This will be well, let's see how this works out first.
Okay, because I was about to. Well, here we go. Here we go.
Let's just see how it goes.
Nope.
Because you have a 17% chance, right?
Yeah, I got an 84. So.
Hold on. You know what?
Do you think you could?
You know what? But I know that the Phoenix's eye is on you, and I rolled a 12.
I should just have my DMs roll all divine intervention. Every time it works, the DM rolls it.
I will. The Phoenix's power is remote from this place because not only is the Shadowfell far away, it is now actively under siege. But you do feel like the sufficient power to cast that spell again is restored to you, or Kira. You feel heat move through your hands as you're holding on to the book.
Okay. I don't know how to stop this, but I can help all of you stop it. And I'll cast Holy Aura again because it works against fiends and undead. So all that stuff about the advantage and disadvantage, I'll put it back in the chat for everybody. You can all remember. Y'all got it again. And she will use whatever movement she has to fly a bit away from this thing and say, but don't get close to it. Do not get close. And that's me.
Perfect. That is a defensive thing. Oh, wait. Creatures that are... Okay. All right. I got it here. Perfect.
Yeah. So basically, it buffs all of us. And then if anyone melee attacks one of us, there's the Constitution saving throw. But this is the thing that gives everybody advantage. And yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Farida, it is your turn. Again, this horrifying abomination is here point blank, literally sucking the life out of all of you.
How close is it?
Oh, it's right here. It's right here.
Okay. And the thing in front of the abomination is undead, but not a fiend. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Then I'm going to Eldritch Blast it and hit it with the. Actually, let me check one thing really quick because I want to make sure that I'm not saying I'm going to do all the bonus actions.
While you're looking that up, Orkira, give me religion or a straight wisdom check. I think religion should be higher.
Oh no!
Oh, okay.
Orkira does not study books. She chats with the Phoenix.
Got it. Straight wisdom then.
Yeah. 21.
I will also say, along with the Phoenix trying to help the best that it can, you are aware that this thing is a night walker. It is literally a manifestation of the negative plane. It is not just undead, it is anti-life.
That's super undead.
And Farida?
Okay, first I'm gonna hit it with try to hit with the Crown of Stars.
Hey.
So that's a 31.
That's a miss. No, I'm sorry. No, that's enough. Yeah.
No! Let's just all banish ourselves out of here!
It's like, new plan. Forget about Havilar. Yeah, okay, right.
It's 40 damage.
40, perfect.
The radiant. And then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it.
Okay.
So that's a 24 and a 28 and a 24. Oh, and a natural 20.
Yes.
Hey, all hits. Give it to me.
So the crit is a 14.
Okay.
And then an 8. An 8. A 6. Sorry, a 10. And then a 10, and then I would like to hurl it through hell now.
How does how does that work? I just want you to know. I was fully preparing to sass you about not having agonizing blast, and then you're like, yeah, but I sent it to hell though.
I do have agonizing blast. It just, didn't roll me.
Okay.
Okay.
What is the save against that, or how does that work?
There isn't one.
Okay.
I hit it, and then I instantly transport the target through the lower planes, and it is gone until the end of my next turn, and it takes 10d10 psychic damage. And this time, it's not demonic, so it does take that, but doesn't get eaten by the hordes of hell. So.
Go ahead and roll that 10d10 for me, because it's relevant.
This gonna bounce back on me or something? It's 66.
What kind of monster would do such a thing?
You. That's the obvious.
Everybody.
Yeah. Legally distinct. Perfect. You all watch these just beams slam into this thing, and then a portal and flames open up, and it's just engulfed.
Okay, we have a few seconds.
Farida, that was phenomenal. You sent it. Where exactly?
One of the hells.
Just like any of them, or do you pick?
I don't really ask. It just kind of happens.
Wow.
Is it coming back? Is it going to be coming back?
Yes, it will be coming back. So we should try to solve this. I point up at the Raven Queen in her prison of shadow psychic terror.
Question. When it comes back, will it come back in exactly the same place?
Yes. Which relevant? I did hit it with the Eldritch Blast that moves it, so it should be scooted back from us. I don't know if it's enough to get out of its like horrible.
Is there a size category limitation? Because it is huge.
Oh, that's a good point.
But also this means
it does not.
Okay.
When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, you push it 10 feet away from you in a straight line. So 40 feet further.
You guys wish to move? Perfect. Is anybody going to do anything else? Because again, we say to your next turn, but again, that's actually about 6 seconds. So does anybody do anything else before it comes back? Besides move? You can't all move.
I want to cast Dispel Magic.
What are you attempting to dispel?
The tendrils around the Raven Queen.
Okay, you can cast that. Okay. Desmond?
Desmond just had an idea of maybe pulling out one of the arrows. For some odd reason, the one that looks like its fletching has a little bit of winter snow on it. He wants to fire that into the spot that the creature was taken from.
Where it's going to come back?
Yep.
Perfect. As you knock the arrow, you all see it hits and explodes, and a winter storm joins Tatiana's storm, blazing on that spot as you all are moving back from it. Perfect. Anything else, Baldur? I feel like you were about to say something.
Yes, I'm going to. Can I essentially prepare a spell so that it will go as soon as it comes back? It goes off.
Not in the strictest technical sense, because it will be the next round. So you can't hold it till the next round. Like, you can kind of get out of the way. You can physically get in position, but you can't hold the action because it comes back next time.
But here's the thing. It's the spell I'm thinking of is Delayed Blast Fireball.
I will say you can just delay the blast if you like.
Yeah. Just wait until it's boom. Yes.
Yep. You're like 1001, 1002, 1003. Boom. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. You drop that off. Anybody else do anything before it comes back?
Is there anything I can do to help Tatiana? I see what she's doing, and I'm like ready to help.
It seems like it is having no effect. This is sorcery the likes of which you have never seen. You see Nira jumps in and tries to do it with you too, and it's nothing.
Not even for a nat 20.
Not even for a nat 20.
I didn't have
got
one.
to tell you something.
Just asking.
You all see a few seconds later, the portal opens up again, and you see just for a moment behind it into the abyss, which some of you have witnessed firsthand. And there is a swath of dead demons all over the place as it comes climbing back out. And you can see there are claw marks and scratches all over its undead form. And you all start to hear something. First, it's the sound of running feet, and you hear, and from off in the distance, you see someone is riding in your direction, riding some sort of huge beast. It is hard to make out what it is because it is wrapped in metal, but there is the distinct glow of flames coming out of its eyes and out of its mouth, but the flames are green. On the back, there is an armored person with a green light coming out of their eyes, and they whip their hand out and pull a scythe out and jump off the back of this creature, which goes right into biting on the legs and land on the back of it and slam the scythe down into the Nightwalker, which begins trying to reach back and pull this person off of them. And Delatoth looks over and says, the champion's here. We're saved. Farida, it looks nothing like her, but you know, that's Havilar.
She moves exactly the same. I call out to her. I shout her name.
While she's wrestling with this thing, she turns and looks at you for a second, and the Nightwalker grabs her around the throat. And that's a good place for us to stop.
You are
What?
A good place.
One more episode to go as Shadowfell Havilar joins the altercation. Guess we're gonna find out what's going on next week. But before we go, we gotta finish up this week with our giveaway winners. I love you, Aaron. J-Synth, J-S-I-N-T-H-E, has won the Idle Champions Dice Vault. Oh, let me not break everything. Just break most things. Idle Champions Dice Vault and Iris D6. Well, okay. I need an important clarification real quick from the production
like the
overlord.
document.
It is the Dice Vault and Art
It is
Orcus.
both. It is both. Okay, so J-Synth wins not just the Dice Vault, but this chunky boy Orcus here. I saw. I was like, did one person buy? Because I'm not trying to Steve Harvey this piece. So congratulations there. Thank you for coming with me on that, Desmond. Thank you for coming with me on that.
Here for you.
Happy Kaiju Stompy Time, which is a name I just love, has won the Shadowfell Tatiana, Shadowfell Desmond, and Shadowfell Brimstone Angels DLC pack. So put them in your formations with pride and spookiness. Tatiana is available now in Idle Champions. Voting continues for the Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen Episode 5 Season Finale, which is next Monday on March 21st. Again, I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I mean, we got a Nightwalker and they're all beat up, and maybe Vecna and Orcus are gonna show up, but guess what? You all get to help decide how this is gonna go and whether it's good for them or bad for them. I want you to know, I very carefully planned the final battle, and Dylan, who we don't name by name quite often, was like, what's gonna happen if they all get killed? And I was like, guess we'll find out. So do please vote, because they need your help. Next week's gonna be rough. So we will see you next week for the final episode of Idle Champions Presents Court of the Raven Queen. Thank you all so much.
Peace.
B-Day Walters, where can't you find me? You can find me all over the internet, wherever fine streaming content can be located. You can find me on G4 as the host and dungeon master of Invitation to Party on G4, Twitch, YouTube, and cable TV, and all over the tweetagrams at B-Day Walters.
So you can follow me on Twitter at Erin M Evans. You can watch me on twitch.tv/CNEGames on Wednesdays at 11 for Champions of Lore with B. Dave Walters and Trevor Bettis, where we talk about the lore behind Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. You can see my work in Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms because I write adventures for them now. And you can also watch me on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers for Dungeon Scrawlers, an actual play show in the Forgotten Realms with a bunch of fantasy writers.
If you're looking for me, you can find me at twitch.tv/Deejay Knight primarily, because that's where I spend the vast majority of my free time playing video games.
And being a science fiction nerd. It goes reasons.
What am I up to? Playing in the Black Dice Society, playing in this lovely game that you're watching now, shortly, around, yes. And playing a lot of space and sci-fi games. No Man's Sky just dropped another major update, which is literally the thing that pulls me from whatever else I'm doing. It's like, oh, No Man's Sky, let's go. And also just, I don't know how this February became the release of all the games, but I'm playing all the things. and there's not enough time in the day to play all the things. So juggling a lot of plates, as it were.
I'm Mark Meer. You can, of course, see me here on Idle Champions Presents. You can also catch me on the Black Dice Society every Thursday on the official Dungeons & Dragons Twitch and YouTube. You can also hear me on Stitch of Fate, a podcast by night, a Vampire the Masquerade podcast, available every Friday, pretty much wherever you find a podcast. And, of course, I'm available on Cameo for all your Mass Effect-related needs.
Yeah, so you can find me, my personal stuff at shareefjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com. That has links to all my stuff, including Rivals of Waterdeep, which we just started season 12 with Latia Jakis as the DM. And you can find all that stuff at rivalsofwaterdeep.com, or just check us on the socials at Rivals of Waterdeep. All the past episodes, podcasts, clips, TikTok, all that kind of stuff is all on there. So check it out.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. You can find more about me on my Twitter at OboLauren, and that's usually where I post all the important things about me.
You can find me on all social media as myself at TheBeccaScott. You can also find my company, Good Time Society. We do all kinds of TTRPGs and different board games, especially on YouTube, youtube.com/GoodTimeSociety.
Thank you.